Hello and welcome to the More Cheese Less Whiskers podcast. My name's Dean Jackson, and today we're talking with Hanna from France. And Robin's calling in from Paris today, where he is a young 25-year-old man who has really made a name for himself in the fashion world in France in marketing. And he, had a very early career as a director, a growth director for a very popular fashion site, and had made a big success of it. And he learned a lot of things along the way, marketing. That's really his passion. And so we had a really great conversation about where does he go from here at 25 years old, knowing what he knows now. And we also talked about knowing what I know now at 52, looking back at being 25 and realizing what an amazing opportunity knowing what he knows about marketing is. And so we talked a lot about starting with his business idea, his dream, right? What would be the thing that would keep him excited and motivated for the next 25 years? And I think you're really going to like this conversation. So here we go. Hanna.
Hello, Dean.
How are you?
How are you doing?
I am so good. I'm very excited. Where are you in the world today?
I'm in Paris right now.
Wow.
I live in Paris.
What a great place to be.
Yeah. Last time I called you, I was in the south of France and the connection was bad and everything.
I remember.
Now it's good. It should be good.
Perfect. Well, let's start out and tell me the Hanna story here, and then we'll figure out what kind of evil schemes we're going to hatch today.
Cool. Okay. So first of all, thanks. It's a pleasure to be on your podcast. And I don't know if you have interviewed French people before on your podcast, but it's an honor to answer the first one.
That's right. I had a guy from France, Tony Lux, came to one of my Breakthrough Blueprint events in London. And
okay, so the second one.
That's right.
Still good.
No, but I don't know that. I actually don't know that he's been on the podcast. So you're the first. You may be the first Frenchman on the podcast. So welcome.
Cool. So I'm 25, and I have been the last 2 years have been kind of crazy because I was the head of growth of a big French fashion startup that became the biggest French style magazine for men, which is auto-financed by its own clothing line.
Okay.
And it exploded, and I was the director of growth of the thing. So I became like a little bit of a public figure in the startup marketing place. Which gave me a lot of credibility really fast, and I've become this has led to amazing opportunities. So today I'm a teacher at the French Fashion Institute, and I've quit my job 1.5 years ago with my associate, who was also in charge of marketing, to help the fashion companies do better marketing. Because at first, before I was recruited by the startup, I created a fashion brand, luxury leather shoes made in France, only sold online without a store.
Nice.
But without a physical store, because I have been passionate about marketing and direct response since age 11, when I first tried to sell my first ebook online.
Wow.
In German, because I'm half German, and I put like an ebook online. I tried to sell it, and I noticed that putting something online didn't mean that it's not a guarantee to make sales. So I put an ebook online. I saw that I didn't make any sales because my ebook was also targeted at like 13 years old, like teenagers. And 10 years ago, teenagers didn't have any credit cards or stuff to pay online. They didn't have PayPal or
gift
anything.
cards or whatever. Gift cards are the
Exactly.
currency. Yeah.
So it was like the first time that I noticed that I didn't know my audience too well. And so I asked myself, how do you sell stuff? And this is how I came to Diaphysoms marketing. And so I was very interested in fashion, because fashion is like, I felt like no author I read, no Joe Polish, no John Carlton, no Dan Kennedy, nobody talked about like luxury fashion, because it's difficult to sell something. I find it difficult to sell something without giving the direct benefits of it, because people don't want to hear when they. I think so. When I sell a Rolex to someone, the guy is like buying it for the status, but he doesn't want you to say to him that, oh, people will see that you have a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
It's like more subtle than that. So it was like really interesting. I said to myself, if I can sell $500 shoes online, I can sell anything. And this is why I went into fashion.
Oh, that's
just
great.
For the challenge.
That's awesome. So where does that go from here? What's on your mind?
Okay, that's like the challenge today. I have been really spoiled by a good network and recognition. So as soon as I started my consulting company, I had clients coming in from everywhere, because people knew us, and we never had to prospect or anything. And today, if you want to grow more, we need to generate leads. And it's the whole lead generation part that is a problem today. It's not a real problem. It's just that we have been so spoiled that we never thought about doing it again. Because every time I wanted to do lead generation, new clients came in from I don't know where. They just came in and we took them.
So you're saying now you need to do lead generation for your consulting business. Is that it? What you're saying?
Exactly.
I gotcha.
And I have the first problem with this. If I take Profit Activator 1, it's the target market, because I target some things that I will call the luxury entrepreneur, who either sells really nice goods or really nice services, or the people that don't have a lot of clients, but have really good clients, well-established relationships, and a big lifetime value, and to sell high margin goods. And I don't know if it's focused enough. I don't know if I want to do services, because the clients I had were like not only in fashion, they were also like, I had champagne, I had like high-end cosmetics, so the whole lifestyle industry.
I got you.
Will.
Yeah. Okay, so what can you do? That's the thing. Like, so much of selecting a target market is going to be really the best thing. Best way to select a target market is to start with the thing that you really want to do and that you can do better than anybody. And I always start with this idea of, what would you do if you only got paid if your client gets a result? Not that that's necessarily going to be the way that you do it, but that thought process of, what is it that you're so certain that you could do, that you would be able to, that you feel like you've got 100% certainty of getting the result for somebody. What is the result that you're able to create?
Yeah, that's a question. I have been reading your emails for 3 straight years, and it always comes back, and it haunts me. But the thing I can do, and the thing I normally do with clients that are like a little bit afraid of direct response marketing and so on, I tell them, first thing we do, I'm going to rewrite one of your sales emails, and we're gonna test one against the other.
Right.
then they see that there's results in that, and that I can like easily increase their sales by 30, 50, even double them just by with one email. And they say, okay, let's do this. What are your other strategies? And they are all in. So I always, the first thing I do is always like selling something right now and comparing my selling method to theirs.
Yeah. And so that's perfect. And so now there's the thing is that you're at a point where that is a very, very easy thing for people to buy into. Is let
Yeah.
me just do a test. I'll test it against one of your emails. Something that's a quick win. Where you're able to create a result for people. And so you start to think about that as the starting point. Now, if you were going to do that, then what makes the most sense is to um, stack the deck in your favor in a way by looking at who are the best people, who would be the best candidates for you to be able to do this. What type of company, what minimum, if you weren't,
Mm.
often you can get into who it is for by identifying who it's not for too, right? That's most
Oh
important.
yeah.
If I said to you, okay, you're only going to get paid if you get the results, but you get to choose who it is, or what would disqualify somebody from you being able to work with them. And it may be that maybe for you, it's that they don't have a list, or that they're
Yeah.
a brand new startup, or that
Mm.
they're, not willing. Not willing to, they're not open to testing. They're not,
Yeah.
what I mean, too married to tradition or the past or the history of the brand, or they're too
Yeah.
guarded with it. So in a lot of these ways, the target market, as much as it's, demographic and identifiable by attributes, it's also can be an a mindset or an emotional thing.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
they've got to have a certain openness to stuff.
That's a little bit of a challenge in the industry I'm in. Is people are like really used to look at their competitors and at the branding of their competitors. Like I think there's no other industry where people are so agency focused and
Yeah,
they compare to each other, and it's really the hierarchy is crazy in this business. Like everybody is someone's boss. So I love to work with people who have a company that is decently sized, like at least 500K in sales
yeah,
a year, and also a company with an owner operator.
right.
That's how you say it, I think.
Mm-hmm. And so somebody who is at the helm. It's not they're not delegating it to somebody else. Somebody who
Exactly,
doesn't
yeah, because
have
I've
the
worked,
authority, right? Somebody who's
yeah,
worried about losing their job is not going to make the right moves, right?
yeah, exactly,
Okay.
exactly, and that's the whole thing. I've worked with big companies before, and in theory, it's nice. You get in, you do some stuff, or you teach some stuff. They don't do it, but you get paid. But it's really frustrating to teach people and not seeing them get the results.
Yes, I get it. Of course, that's not the yeah, that's the worst part, right? When you know what they
Even
could
if
be
they're
doing.
happy afterwards and say, "Oh, it was really interesting," but yeah, but I wanted to give you something.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think what's important to you about it, right? Like what is it that if you were to say this is what I'm trying to build here, rather than
Mm.
just trying to get clients, is what is it that if you've got a blank slate like this, if you've got opportunity. You're gonna pick some direction to grow in. Why not start with building it around the life that you want or what you actually want to do, you know?
Yeah, yeah, that's also a thing. It's when I quit my last job, I imagined my life, what I wanted to do. I wanted to work with clients I liked, which I did and which I still do, but I
Hmm.
didn't acquire them on my own. I wanted to have high paying gigs,
Hmm.
and I also wanted to be, if it's like a big company, I didn't want to be judged on my results because there's too many variables involved in big companies. So
Uh-huh.
what I did is, like, today I do workshops with my clients,
Uh-huh.
like 4 or 5 workshops, and I with a high ticket price. So I work with the clients. I work like two days a month, and my associate also.
Uh-huh.
And the rest of the time, I can read, I can travel, I can write. But I see the potential. I see there's a big potential and a lot of leverage. I haven't activated any marketing yet. And I want to go bigger, but I don't really know why. I want to go bigger, but without working too much. Like, I don't care if I work 2, 3, yeah, I know I'm I'm sounding like a whiny kid. It's
No, no, I
Yeah,
get
but
it.
it's just I don't know what is after that, and I don't see anybody doing it or having it.
Right. Well, part of it is I mean, you're 25, right? Is that what you said?
Yeah,
So you're really young and you're gonna realize that, I'm just 52 now. So I remember being 25 like it was yesterday, right? And that is what's amazing is how fast that goes and how young I still feel. Like I don't know any difference in my inner feeling or enthusiasm or um, you know my love, my passions, everything that I love about marketing and stuff is been
yeah,
there for that whole 25 years. And um, the thing that I think you've really got the opportunity to do is to really just embrace whatever, starting with the life that you want. One of the best
yeah,
things I did about 20 years ago, I, with Thomas Leonard, I went through this process and created my my kind of guideposts for defining my um, definition of success. And
yeah,
yeah, when I looked at it, I wanted it to be something, I wanted to kind of go ahead and kind of push the accelerator pedal and look forward and see what will it be? What will it look like when I'm being successful in the present moment, as opposed to something aspirational, right? And
yeah,
so I went through an exercise of just answering and filling in the blanks on the question or the statement, I know I'm being successful when. And for me, I went through these things where my top three were that I know I'm being successful when I can wake up every day and say, what would I like to do today? I know I'm being successful when my passive revenue exceeds my lifestyle needs. And
yeah,
number three is that I know I'm being successful when I'm working on projects I'm excited about and doing my very best work. So those three things, I mean, there's 10 of them that I did, but those
yeah,
three things are kind of the guidepost of everything, right? And I would be very guarding of those things. Like, so it was clear that my time freedom is the most important value that I have. That's the thing that I value more than anything. I was just in Strategic Coach in
yeah,
Chicago this last week, and we were doing an exercise, but I'd gone through and I was looking at the time, and so the total time burden or commitment to run my base business,
Mm-hmm.
I would say, which includes doing the podcasts, doing my Breakthrough Blueprint events, my email mastery calls, my go-go agent calls, all of that, all in, is 417 hours a year. That's what if I look at
Wow.
the time involved in that. Okay, so what
Mm.
that means now, what we look at is, it was a really interesting perspective to think about now all this time that I have, and to put a sort of currency on it, in that what we were looking at was, what if I took this and said, I have 1,000 hours to invest. If I think about my time and my
Mm.
intellectual capital, my mind and my energy and whatever I have, if I have 1,000 hours that I'm willing to invest, I don't need to invest those 1,000 hours to pay the mortgage or to sustain me. My base business is more than what I need. So I've got now this opportunity to take these 1,000 hours and invest them like I coined a phrase like a venture collaborist, looking
Oh.
for opportunities where I can collaborate with people on creating a bigger result,
Oh.
and creating, the opportunity to create value together. Like for you, what is, and your unique ability, the things that are valuable to somebody else.
Yeah.
If you could just, and it's from concentrate, even, that's the thing. Like your ability to lay out a strategy and define what to do, is you can do that far faster than any company could execute that strategy.
Yeah.
So it doesn't require all of your time. What is the favorite thing that you really like to do? If you were to look at it, what are the things that bring you the most joy?
Um, that's that's a question a friend asked me last time. It was really eye opening. A friend asked me if, because I told him that I wanted to be recognized on a bigger level, on a national level, for my marketing abilities. And he
So,
told me, okay,
mhm.
so if, let's imagine that like in 10 years, there's a guy in like a professor in a business class who introduces one of the theories you created. He doesn't know a lot about marketing. And he asked me, is this something you would enjoy? And I didn't even have to think about it. I said, no. What I really like is I would love to be recognized by a few people that would tell me, man, you have impacted my life in so many ways. That's why I
Mhm.
wanted to write, and I love to write. And there are no really good books, like marketing books in French. A few have been translated from English, but I would really love to write them. That's
Right.
something I really enjoy to teach.
Hmm. And so, do you like to write?
Yeah, I love to write.
There you go. So you don't have a problem. Like, do you procrastinate writing? Do you get into, can you just sit down and write?
Yeah, yeah, I
Yeah.
have no problem writing.
Okay. And I wish that I had that ability. That's something, because I would enjoy having written as well, but it's like I can't get myself to sit down and write as much as you think about
Mhm.
it. Wouldn't it be great to like you know get a place in the south of France and wake up and go to your writing spot with this beautiful view of the ocean and write, and then go for dinner and this whole thing, live a very the writer's life. That's a great kind of thing.
Yeah,
Does that appeal to you? Are you an introvert or an extrovert?
I'm more of an extrovert.
Okay. And so that would be, does that life actually excite you, the being alone in a room writing life, or
I like it. I need a
and
little
then you
bit of
get your extroversion
animation to
after
write.
you
Yeah,
get
of
your
course. Yeah,
extroversion after, and you go out and have go see all your friends and all that kind of stuff. That's how
yeah,
you, yeah.
exactly. Yeah,
Okay.
that's what I usually do. Yeah, when I write.
Okay.
And and the problem when I write is that I have too many different. I can focus and I can write. That's not a problem. But another project I started, which I wanted to like, it doesn't need anything to be finished. I wanted to create an online marketing course, a business launching course, but for people with like a higher education who don't buy into, who are like completely biased because all they have seen is weird ads on Facebook that tell you how to get rich quick. So they think that all entrepreneurship, all online entrepreneurship is this kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So entrepreneurship would be something for them, but they despise it because they think that it's all MLM, or I don't know what you call it. And so I would love to get to those people, because I have friends who are like uh, big engineers, who are like in big consulting firms, who work like 60-hour weeks, and I know that they would love to do something else, but they despise entrepreneurship because it's like, why did I get a degree to become an entrepreneur? And I want to show them that it's a good thing. So I wanted to create a start your business class for those people.
Mm-hmm. It's so funny because 20 years ago, when the internet was just kind of getting started, it was still that same thing. It's how to make millions online, and how,
Yeah.
that's get rich quick online. And I did uh, we did a really nice course on uh, getting started online, but the appeal was exactly like who the person was, who this was appealing to, is that um, how to turn the headline on the postcard that we did, or the on the ads that we did, was how to turn, let me see if I can remember it, how to turn a free email address and a few hours a week into an extra monthly income. So we weren't making any
Wow.
claims of how big that income was, or how the thing, but the practicalities of it, that uh yeah, I've got an email address, and I've got a few hours a week, and I'd like an extra monthly income. And that was appealing to the right people. I think that there's so much opportunity, like for the person who wants to make a few $1,000s a month online as a part-time extra thing. There's so many opportunities for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want the title of the thing I wanted to launch?
What is it?
I'm gonna try to translate it live. It's how to make an extra $1,000 online with a side business, without quitting your job, without sacrificing your social life, and without spending all your economies in Facebook advertising.
uh,
And the idea is, what I wanted really to emphasize is the whole there are a lot of people who are like always saying, "Oh, escape 9 to 5, escape 9 to 5." French people actually use the term rat race in
Hmm.
English because we have no word for it now. And there are a lot of people who like their job who are just not completely satisfied with it and
I
who could
love the
get
fact that here we
satisfied.
are. This, I want to pause for a second that, here we are that the French, notoriously internationally regarded as the country that's pointed to who has the work-life balance of working 35 hours a week and 6 weeks of holidays and all of this, that they actually refer to that as the rat race. I love it.
Yeah,
That's the
that's
best.
crazy.
Even the French, as much as we look at them as having balance, they still think that 35-hour week is the rat race. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, it's because when you get something, I think when you get something as a society, as people, you're happy about it, but then you forget it and it becomes a status quo, and you always want more.
Yes.
The Tomorrow you can quit your job and you can get like 2 years of your salary from the state.
Yeah, that's
2 years.
amazing, isn't it?
You
Wow.
have 2 years to figure out what you want to do if you quit your job. Even if
Hmm.
you have hold it for 6 months, you can't
Wow.
get license, you can't get anything. So it's a really great place for entrepreneurs if you want to start something. After tax wise, it's a bit more complicated, but if you want to start something, it's the best place
Amazing.
because you don't risk anything.
Yes.
So yeah,
Yeah,
so I wanted
especially,
to
yeah, so
appeal
you
to those
could go,
people.
you got your 2 year, 2 year salary. That's something. And do they adjust it? Like, if you start making money on your business, do
Yeah,
they
they adjusted.
deduct that?
They deducted that you can, if you put all this money you make on the side, if you put it in a company and you don't touch it, they don't deduct it.
I got you. Okay.
So you
So
can
you've
get
got
it.
2 years to grow. That maybe there's a,
Exactly.
that's an
You,
interesting thing, that you could, um, that you've got some, this, you could create this squad of young marketers who start stuff, figure out the business, and they've got 2 years of
yeah.
free internship to figure that out. That's kind of a cool
It,
thing.
yeah, 3 years is amazing. And I didn't get it because you only get it if you go to your employer and you tell him, okay, I want to quit. And he says, okay, let's do an agreement. And it's an agreement. You just sign a paper and you get it. But if you go to your employer and you say, okay, I'm quitting and here's my letter of recognition, you don't get it. But
uh,
all employers give you the agreement if you want it. But I didn't want it because I didn't want to have the security.
I gotcha.
I wanted to be on my own. I wanted to do all the stuff.
Yeah. Well,
So yeah, and that's what I would love to create a course for those people. That's another thing. I want to do so many things. It's crazy. But I want to focus on what I told you, on the lead
yes.
generation for my consulting business first of
Yes.
all.
So part of the thing, so that's what I was asking about your consulting business then
Yeah.
is what, starting with the end in mind here, if you
Mm.
could pick, any outcome for this, we're going to push this button and the advertising that we deploy is going to create an outcome called full practice or whatever well, what does
Yeah.
that look like for you? What is the outcome? What's the dream come true outcome that you could imagine and describe?
For my clients?
No, for you.
Or for myself?
Yeah, for
Oh,
you, regarding your clients. Like, if you could say, like, what would be the best possible outcome for you, that you push this button and
yeah.
you've got a lineup outside the door of people who are waiting to work with you
Yeah.
that are your dream clients? What would they be? You've got your choice of clients.
Hmm. I think it would be business owners without a big team, without maybe, I don't know why, but I like people who have a store, who have managed a store before because they know their clients and they easily relate to what I tell them because they tell me, oh, it's like when I sell face to face to people. So internet marketing isn't that difficult or isn't that different. And even marketing isn't that different. So
Right.
the people who are salesmen understand direct response marketing and they understand also internet marketing and they are happy to know that it's not that different and that they have been afraid of it for nothing. So that's the first thing. People who have a decent sized company,
Hmm.
who sell like really nice things with high margins, who have a few clients and who have high end clients.
Hmm.
That would be the dream.
Okay. And so maybe some of these, like, would you love to have a company that, if you think about in France, I'm sure there are lots of high quality um, craftsmen, people who
Yeah,
make things like your shoes that you talk about
exactly.
that sell them locally, or but don't
Yeah,
have don't have the international exposure kind of thing. Could that be a
yeah.
mhm.
Yeah, yeah, that would be something. That would be something additional I could offer because the problem is with the international side, people are French people are really cynic about France. So
Yeah.
they tell you the first thing they want to do before even starting marketing to the French market, they tell you, oh, French people are annoying, French people have no money, French people don't buy anything.
Yes.
So I don't even want to try to sell to them. So I want to have my site done in English before even having the French one finished. And I try
Ah,
to tell them, no, don't. If you scale something that doesn't work, it won't work either in the English market. Like Americans aren't just like staying there waiting to give you money for nothing.
yes. Yes. I
But
think
yeah,
that so this is you brought up another point here, because in your evaluation process, what's going to be valuable is to understand what you really like to do, what you're likely to want to get involved in. Like, so if you look
mm,
at this, that are you likely to um, want to scale something, or are you likely to want to figure out, just crack the code on how to scale something? Like, is it,
yeah,
yeah, are you I have to talk about the difference of, there's three levels of make it up. There's make it real, and there's make it recur. And the thing in the marketing standpoint is that you can be the one that cracks the code, figures out how to, what marketing actually works, and then take that and scale it and grow it all the way, follow it all the way through. Or
yeah,
you can focus on just cracking the code, on figuring out theoretically or actually how it works, but then the scaling of it is a different thing. My unique ability is in cracking the code and creating what I call the scale ready algorithm, right? That
yeah,
if I figure out what is the message, the offer, the sequence, the email, what is it that converts one person, and then, but with an eye to it being scalable, meaning that I'm doing something that you could scale. As soon as I crack the code on it, though, that's where I lose my unique ability. Is I'm not interested in taking that and scaling it. I'm much more
Yeah,
interested in cracking the code.
yeah,
So
yeah.
that self-knowledge, like, and it took me a long time, and I wish this for you, that I've, in the last 10 years or so, it's really been where um, I've realized that on its own is valuable, and it's okay because I was saying, talking with Joe Polish the other day in Chicago.
Mm,
We were at Strategic Coach, and we were saying how, um, as a society, we almost fetishize the execution and scaling something, right? The
mm,
disciplined execution of being an operator and taking something all the way, kind of thing, right? And we discount the value of creating the algorithm that is scalable, you know, the steps, the messaging, the thing. So we kind of
yeah,
we value execution over ideas,
yeah.
but
I,
the reality
I,
is the ideas are where all the magic is.
yeah, that's right. I, I think I haven't precised it. The thing with our with the startup I was in before, it
Hmm.
was so admired because it got from 0 to 5 million of sales
Yes.
without any funds, without it was all bootstrapped.
Yes.
It was bootstrapped, and the it started out as a media with
Yes.
a lot of visitors. They built the community. Then they created an ebook. Then they created a course about fashion, and then they created their own fashion brand.
Hmm.
And
And
people always want to know what did you do with this company? What did you do with your own previous company? Because the company, the shoe company still exists, is doing really, really well, and also marketing is automatized. So
yeah,
I have a recipe, and I go to my clients and I deploy it and I teach it to them, and then I go to the next clients. I
right.
don't do anything myself. Maybe I write something just to show them the power of it, but that's it.
Yes. Perfect. So
So
that's,
yeah,
yeah. So when you realize that, it's like you are you're um, an artist in that way, right? That you're a creator.
mm,
You've got
yeah,
something, you see how that works. There's something to that. And so that I was saying how I liken, um, the way I think about what I do now is more as, uh, if we were talking about music, I look at it as being a music producer and songwriter, you know,
yeah.
so
Remember
that
Matt Maxon,
Max Martin, that's
Max
exactly
Martin?
it.
Yeah, I read about him and I'm obsessed with him because of one of your emails. Yeah,
Hmm.
sorry.
That's what I talk about, is that Max Martin, the thing, uh, Justin Timberlake, Katy Perry, Taylor Swift, all these people with all these number one songs, right? They wouldn't be able to tour and do all the things that they do without those songs to carry the load of it, right? That they're
Mm,
essentially, the song is the scale ready algorithm. So
yeah,
he's in the studio with them, helping them create the best songs, compiling them, packaging them, making them real, putting them on the album. And then as soon as they're real, his involvement is done. And now
yeah,
they take the next 2 or 3 years and go tour the world, scaling the
Yeah.
value of those songs. The value is that people love those songs so much they want to come see you in concert, and they pay money to do that, but you have to go as an artist and tour the world and do it. So that's not the creative part
Yeah.
um, of the business. And Max has zero interest in that part. But while Katy Perry's out touring the world, he's in the studio with Justin Timberlake making the next album, you know?
Yeah.
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 So
He actually has the time to think about it
that's
and to
right.
go further.
Yeah. That's it. And so that kind of thing, he's learning and knows what, a hit song is very much like a marketing automation in a way, right? Like if you figure out
Yeah.
a chassis, you figure out the rhythm and the chord progressions and the things is no different than figuring out a landing page format or an offer format or an email sequence, all of those things that your toolkit is coming, and that becomes the most amazing thing. And that's
Yeah.
where as I get more and more clarity on this, I at 52, I wish that I had this level of clarity at 25, because I wouldn't have sort of gone against what my natural grain is to, uh, you know, uh, beat myself up or feel, figuring out how to like be good at the thing that everybody fetishizes, which is the
Yeah.
execution, which I'm not good at, but I'm okay with that now because I'm very successful anyway. It doesn't matter. I
Yeah.
have the best life of anybody that I know,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I've been able to get away with that for 25, 30 years. Right. And I don't see it slowing down or wanting it to, like if I could look back, the same things that bring me joy today are the things that brought me joy when I was 25. I mean, it's spooky, but life is great like that when you really realize it. So I would say, to go with your gut on this, right? To be looking for those things. If you're coming from a position, that's why my number, if you break down my top three things of, I know I'm being successful when I can wake up every day and ask what would I like to do today. That's about time freedom, right? Then
Yeah.
the second one, my passive revenue exceeds my lifestyle needs, meaning I have confidence in my base business that it keeps things rolling regardless. I don't have to spend the time in that to make it happen. So that gives you financial freedom that way. And then that I'm working on projects I'm excited about and doing my very best work, that is infinitely scalable because I'm going to be excited about many different things over the next 20 years. And doing my very best work is going to constantly evolve because I know way more about marketing now than I did 25 years ago. My
Yeah.
best work now is much better than my best work when I was 25. So,
Yeah.
and I imagine that at 75, my best work is going to be better than my work at 50 because I've been now narrowing down to this is the thing that I do better than anybody in the world.
Yeah. 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 That sounds exactly what I want to do.
Yes.
I just have like this second question that I need to
Okay.
figure out because I need to figure out how to keep my business afloat because I'm I get all these clients, etc. They come to me, but I don't want to count on that. It seems too magical, and I'm afraid of it. It could stop. I don't know if it could stop, but it could. So I have to just figure out this little part of my business. I have created some lead gen funnels in the last 2 weeks, and if I figure that out, then I can I'm I'm not all done, but I can like sleep on my 2 ears and write and do whatever I want.
Well,
I
part
also
of it
want to
might
create
be,
a school.
you
Yeah,
definitely want to build your audience, right? So if
yeah,
you're saying in French and in France, and
yeah.
how many people, how big is your reach right now in France? How many people do you have on email list?
I have about 800 people.
Okay, so that's a start. And are they potential clients, do you think, or potential people that you want to teach?
No, not all of them.
No. Okay.
No.
So you want to start thinking ahead by, um, it might be a good idea. One great way of keeping things rolling is a podcast.
Yeah,
Where yeah, where you can share all the things that you're doing, all the things that know. You can help people just even the way that I do More Cheese Less Whiskers, right?
yeah,
That you're doing um, exactly that in French, helping people with um, with their lead generation. If you want to narrow it down to specifically something, that could be a good start for you.
yeah, yeah. Doing a podcast because I thought about doing YouTube, but YouTube is too complicated in
Right.
production.
Well, the podcast is effortless, really.
Yeah,
And the good news about it is that all those emails that I send they all come from things that I've said on the podcasts, right? So they're
yeah,
not I'm not writing the emails. I'm speaking, I'm doing this, and I'll probably sometime in the future the things that we've talked about today, some of the things that I've said will come through as an email. And you'll say, "Oh,
yeah,
I was there when he said that." Right. But that's the leverage that we have and the consistency of it. Right. So the through line, the connective tissue of all of it is that every single week there's a new More Cheese Less Whiskers podcast.
yeah,
That's right. And that requires 1 hour of my time because I don't spend any amount of time before or after with anything to do with the podcast. I mean, we didn't speak before and do a pre-interview and all this stuff. I mean, we had that one we were tried to record a
yeah,
while ago, but when you were in south of France, we had to reschedule because of the connection. But other than that, we've really had no interaction and we haven't met. So everything that's happening is contained within this hour, right?
yeah.
And
That's right.
everything that happens after that is not the magic. So it doesn't, I'm not doing it. I'm not going to now take this audio and process the audio and, put it on, uh, up on iTunes and put it on the website and send it to the
Yeah,
transcript. I'm not doing any of that stuff. I do this. This is what it's about. So if you can set up that routine, that there's so much leverage from that. And then if you do write your book, and I wouldn't advise even that it has to be a long book, you just think through
yeah,
yourself, what would be the title of the book that the person I want to be in a conversation with would definitely want to have in their collection. And you just offer that to build your list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm doing. Like one of the last lead magnets I created, because I have the tendency to create things, then then see them, get annoyed by them, and stop them. And I know that I shouldn't get annoyed by my own advertising, because I'm always in front of it, and people are not, like, it's classic common sense. But it's how it goes. I write like 10,000 word posts. It's not a problem.
Right.
I can write short books, and like they get shared, they get liked, and everything in short time. So it's not a problem. I really have no problem doing this.
It's more important about the title and getting in front of the right people, but that it's all there. And then guess what? You build this audience, and then whenever you want to do a workshop, you could do a workshop.
Yeah.
That's part of the thing. So you get into that rhythm, like I know every year I do, 9 or 10 Breakthrough Blueprint events, mostly in Florida, but every year I do a tour. I go to Toronto, London, Amsterdam, Sydney. And
how have you decided the location?
How what? Sorry?
How did you decide on the locations?
The places I want to go,
Okay.
Yeah. And the great thing is there's no way I would be able to do those things if it wasn't for having a podcast that builds a international audience, that has international reach. I couldn't come to London if nobody knew who I was. And if I didn't do a podcast, nobody would know who I was, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. So is your podcast your biggest lead generation asset?
The podcast is not a lead generation; it's a lead conversion.
Yeah, lead conversion.
That's the thing, right? That the podcast.
I don't remember how I came to the podcast. I think I heard. Yeah, the first time I went to your podcast was when I was listening to I Love Marketing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. So I'm trying to remember how I found it.
Well, there you go. And that's part of the thing, is that, you never know how, once it's out there. We've had for, 7 or 8 years now, a top 50 podcast, that makes a difference.
Yeah. I also have one other asset. I'm kind of well known in my space, but
Perfect.
My partner is he was also he was the biggest French YouTuber in the fashion space. So he is really recognized by even in the street, wherever you go.
Perfect. So he might be the perfect person to do a podcast with.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that would be the best idea.
Yeah.
Him doing podcasts would be
right.
Crazy.
And then if you can set it all up that all you guys do is talk, are you in the same place?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you could do like a studio version, or you could be together when you do the podcast, or would you have to do it over the phone?
Yeah. How, when you do your podcast with Joe Polish, do you have a lot of preparation beforehand, or are you just discussing?
No.
Because it seems very natural.
Yeah, no, it's no preparation.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well.
And that's why, there's part of the thing is that's why doing a podcast with another person who, that you're both active, we both run other businesses, right? Like that's our main things are, he's running Genius Network, I'm running my stuff. And so we've got all these like in the trenches perspectives, that we
Yeah.
get together and talk about.
Yeah, that's a really good idea.
But I think
And it's
that the
not so big
faster
that you
you
don't
can do
start.
that, the faster you can do that, the better. Like the bottom line is um, it takes 5 years to have a 5-year running podcast. But the faster you start,
Yeah.
the faster, you know what I mean? Is like you can't jump start your way to having 100 episodes.
No,
You
of
got
course.
to start with episode 1, right?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I think you got
Yeah,
some. I think you got something there. It's really, I think it's really getting clear on that it's okay to be a creator. It's okay to do the thing that you really love
yeah,
and do it at the highest level possible.
yeah. Not get annoyed by people who ask
Right,
if, oh, you're not going to implement that for me.
right,
And refer them to other people who do this.
right. Yes, or to partner with somebody who
Does
somebody
this?
who
Yeah,
can. Right, like I have the only reason that I'm able to do as this just focus on that is that I've got a integrator who he runs the operation.
yeah,
You got to,
yeah.
the
So you
faster
can
you
focus
find
on
that, the
your.
better. Yeah.
A lot to think about.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
really cool.
Well, Robin, I think we've said it all.
Yeah, yes. Thanks a lot, Dean.
I mean,
Thanks so much.
what's your recap? I mean, I'd love to hear just how it kind of landed here. What's your thoughts?
Uh, my recap is that I shouldn't try to fight what I want to do. That I
Right.
shouldn't be. Yeah, I shouldn't be. Like it's not a problem. I think sometimes I have too much. I want to go too far, too fast, and like it's
Yes.
my place for where I'm at right now is really good. And a
Yes.
lot of people don't even get to my stage at my age and
That's
even in a
right.
lifetime. So what am I complaining about?
Right.
Right? It's I can take things slow and just focus and enjoy what I'm doing because I have so much free time that I'm not really enjoying it because I feel like,
Right.
oh man, you have to go faster. You have to figure out how to go faster.
Yes. And that's it. And so
Yeah,
that really helped me. Like this is where I'm coming from. What really a breakthrough for me in the last week has been to put a currency around all of that time that I have and
that
think
sounds.
about it that I'm a venture capitalist who has intellectual property and time that I can invest 1,000 hours into something. And
Yeah, that's
that,
crazy.
right, that's kind of when you start thinking about where is the best place for me to invest those hours for the highest possible return.
Yeah.
That's where that's what you're looking for.
I've never thought about my time like this,
Yes.
about an investment, and in that
It's a
I'm
game
really rich.
changer.
If yeah,
You really are. You've got these 1,000 hours and your capabilities,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
That
yeah,
you've
that's
got
amazing.
that's what they call smart money, right? Now, if you have money too, if you've got that and time and money, you're unstoppable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and I can really live by just working on my money, on my
Yes.
money for 3 days a month, and all the
That's
rest of the time I can invest in other stuff
perfect.
that can yield returns on the long term.
That's exactly right.
Yeah,
I'm excited
is
for
that?
you.
Yeah, yeah, me too. Me too. I am going to grab a grab a coffee with my with my partner
All right, well, set
to
your
talk to him.
calendar and let's do the follow-up in 25 years. I'll be 75, you'll be 50, and we'll talk about how it all played out.
I'm holding you up to that.
Okay, perfect. I love it. We'll do it in south of France.
Oh, perfect.
Okay.
Let's do that. Thanks a lot, Dean.
Perfect. Thanks, Robin.
Ciao.
Bye. And there we have it. I really like where that conversation went. I think there's a lot of lessons in that, really defining what it is that you want to do only after you've defined what you want for your life. What is it that you want your business to do? I'm a firm believer that the purpose of your business is to support or help you achieve whatever it is that you want to achieve in your life. And the more you can get those aligned, the more you can get to be as close to getting paid for just being you, for doing what you would normally do. That's really a wonderful thing to imagine and engineer for yourself. So I think that he's going to have an amazing career ahead of him. And I think that he's going to spend some time doing the thinking, the deep work to think about what it all means for him and what he wants to focus on. So I like these kinds of conversations, and I hope you do too. If you want to continue the conversation here, you can go to morecheeselesswhiskers.com. You can download a copy of the More Cheese Less Whiskers book. And if you'd like to be a guest and have conversations like this about your business, just click on the Be a Guest link and we will hatch some evil schemes with you. That's it for this week. Have a great week, and I'll talk to you next time.